Hi, folks. Nick Tockert here with the Historical Fencing Guild for the first amazing video of 2022. I think I put 2021 in the things. Time has broken, reality has shattered, and yet somehow we endure. Yes, my White Boot Keep is currently listing at about 15, 20 degrees. It's trying to put me in a Dutch angle. Maybe I'm becoming a Batman villain. Anyway, before we get into the serious stuff, the Historical Fencing Guild is brought to you by sales of the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, both available through Amazon at www.amazon.com. These are the simplest, easiest ways to step your foot on that ladder of ascension as a Western martial artist to learn the way of the sword and have fun doing it. So please follow me there if you want to support keeping our lights on in this wonderful little area. Consider becoming a Patreon member. Let's hit the comments, folks, because you guys are amazing. And people were joined first by the beautiful, untalented Cindy Kep, sneaking here unnoticed. We noticed you, Cindy. Cindy Kep at www.CKOEPP.com is a wonderful author, artist, and just a general creator of monumental things. We are also joined by Bladed Thesis. Hey, Thesis. Hi, guys. So, let's talk shop, shall we? I'm not sure how much I have prepped this time. It's been a couple weeks. Wow, has it been hectic on my end? I am in the process. I want to note something. Look. I have made movement space, y'all. I'm working slowly and steadily in the old boot cave to try to keep the place upright. We had some heater challenges today and yesterday, so it's been exciting. We are quite fine. I am very warm. It just took some improvisational actions to patch things up. And that, folks, is okay. You know what? It is great to be back, Thesis. And I got stuff to talk about. Oh, hey, Johnny, hey, thank you. Yeah, I actually got my ears lowered and, more of the hard-earned gray that my wife has put there, strand by strand, her words, not mine, is showing. But yeah, thank you. I'm a little more organized, at least externally here, and we're hoping it bleeds into the internal with all the projects I have going. And Cindy kept waves. Yay. Maybe we'll show it. Yay, cool. Alrighty. I actually have a bit to talk about. Hey, Frog G in the house. Oh, and Thesis got a haircut too. Yay, Thesis. Frog G, thank you for showing up. I hope Operation Frog is going great. The talent that some of my viewers have almost make me embarrassed to put out the stuff I put out. But you know what? I do it because you guys enjoy it, and it seems it does. If it does a little good in this world of madness, I'm going to call it a win. What all is on the docket today? One, coffee. I require coffee. My voice is trying to leave me, which we don't want, but, it is what it is. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Get the word out. Now, we have some stuff to talk about because I've been following The Mandalorian. I'm sorry, not The Mandalorian. The Book of Boba Fett. And I followed The Mandalorian. I loved it. And I'm really enjoying Book of Boba Fett. Not necessarily for the reason most people would, but I am absolutely loving the martial arts aspect of Boba Fett. It's glorious. I'm seeing real-world weapons used in a real-world believable manner. Okay. And I wanted to get into that because I think one thing you will see, and I want to make sure that I did highlight Frog. I'm pretty sure I did. But if I didn't, I will highlight Frog again because Frog G is just that awesome. I was watching, and the first thing that got me were the clubs. Okay, because if you go back to a gaffy stick, and I may be mispronouncing it, anything I mispronounce in these conversations is not done. I'm sorry, Lydia gave me the stink eye. What? Anyway, out of malice or anything. Aw, thank you, Johnny. You know, real friends are friends when they threaten, but thank you. Hey, Johnny says, "Tell me you're embarrassed of your stuff again. I'll reach through the screen and slap your face." Hey, you know, it takes a lot to keep putting content out, and it takes a lot of bravery. And I know it's not easy for some of us. Um, but getting back on the gaffy sticks that the Tusken Raiders are seen with are an amalgamation of two weapons. On one end, we'll go the easy end. It's a flanged mace. So at the bottom, you have a spike and a flanged mace. I really love that. Is it practical? Maybe, maybe not. It looks interesting. The counterbalance effect of having, what is it? Now, I know it's getting called a Fijian war club, as in it's a war club from Fiji. And it's interesting, but I think it goes by another name when it's used by the Maori people, the awesome folks from New Zealand, and the actor who plays Boba Fett, whose name has fallen out my ear right now, obviously has handled one before. Like, I haven't looked into this yet, but I'd put a shiny quarter on the table. Wow, normally I say shiny penny, so I'm serious. Put a quarter and say he's handled one of these clubs before, because I was watching the training. Wow, is that Maori? I thought so. Thank you, Cindy. But the weapon might go by a different name for them, and again, speech impediment and just trying to. It's difficult to learn this stuff, but I try to. I've seen these. And I love what I look for when I see a martial artist that impresses me, especially a martial artist of a certain age, which I want to get into. I think this is a good point for those of us watching this channel. There is an illusion, there is a belief that martial arts have to be a young person's. Let's be honest, a young man's game, largely. Which is an absolute fallacy on pretty much every block of. And we're losing features. Anyway. Bonk. We'll just frame up the disaster. Not the first. It's not a historical fencing guild bit of shtick if the background doesn't try to attack me. But that being said, it's not. And what I look for is the way and. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And hi, Richie. Good seeing you. To Moira? To boy, speech impediment day. Anyway, Morrison. I love the man. He's a fabulous actor. Very physical actor. But he moves with a efficiency that can only come from mastery. Now, people get confused on what mastery is. They think mastery is being able to do the crazy stuff, the flips, the jumps, the crazy, and it's not. It's being able to flawlessly do the little things. That's what impresses me. And to see the fighting style of something that's not been brought up into they're fighting Jedi, so they should fight like Jedi. No, they shouldn't. And we see, especially in the first and second episode, some diverse fighting techniques. Now, there are some spoilers in that I'm going to be talking about some of the weapons used. I will try to avoid plot points, but I can't really do this part of the video without at least expressing that. And I'm constantly embarrassed by my work. I'm hoping getting better. I mean, you are, Thesis. You are incredible. you don't ever hesitate to just expound on how glorious you are. And Richie says old warriors are old for a reason. That's right. Beware a gentleman in an old man in a dangerous field. So anybody who's been in a dangerous job and manages to have gray hair has lived through it. That has earned a measure of automatic respect because they've put in the time. And Timora, and I apologize if I'm saying his name wrong. So I'm going to say Mr. Morrison, just because it's easier for my speech impediment, anglicized fat tongue. But has definitely done so. And I'm watching. It's what gets to me is there's a training sequence where because if you watched Mandalorian, you see he fights with a gaffy stick, which is fascinating. This was an odd thing to see come popping out. Boba Fett looking for his armor, fighting with a gaffy stick. What the heck? And to see how he trained, but his trainer version is much more a war club style. Big knot. Honestly, it resembles a very... If you did a super deformed cartoonish version of a Blackthorn Shillelagh, where you have that classic knot on the end of the walking stick, and you just made it the size of a baseball, that's one of the trainers, and then they add the spike, so you have a lot of weight hitting a narrow force. It's beautiful engineering. I gave a couple buffers to... Well, that's awesome, Thesis. Spread the good word. You know, I'm going to get into buffers in future videos a little bit. And I got some stuff planned, so you're getting good. But I was looking at it, and I'm like, I know what some of those are, because I'm watching the weapons. And what I like is they're really tapping into the... into real-world weapons. I need to look something up. Ah, there we are. Cool. I needed a word. Hey, you helped them chase that dream early. That's putting out positive ripples in the water. Don't you ever doubt that. But so you have the War Club. You have a flanged mace on the other. I love it. It has a thrusting end. Honestly, of fantasy and sci-fi weapons, the gaffy stick, yeah, I can see it. I can see making it go. It's brutal and it's aggressive, and I kind of dig it. Not gonna lie. But then again, I'm a sucker for short pole arms. Always have been. Now, what I wanted to talk about is I saw that, and then if you watch it, they did something neat, and I am going to give a bit of a spoiler, so y'all are warned. They show Grimoire Guard, actually two, and they are armed, but they are not armed with axes or bardishes. Normally, you see Grimoire Guard, they're armed with short-handled axes or an actual bardiche they're grabbing in the middle. Looks really cool, very, very orc, very orc. Oh, that was not what I thought I was taking a drink of. I have a drink of coffee and I have a drink of my usual stuff. And I took a drink of my usual stuff expecting coffee. But, now, what they're carrying actually is Nepalese Korra. Now, they're very strange. They're wide-tipped blades. Do I have... Okay. Give me just a second, and I'll set this up. I want to explain, because it's a fascinating weapon. And the Korra is the sword to match the kukri as a, if the kukri is the Nepalese dagger, the kora is the Nepalese, I think I'm saying it right, sword. And they're very, very distinctive and a little tricky to share, so give me just one moment to do this, and then we'll do that. And hello, sketchiness. Now, my angles are going to get weird because I have to be able to access stuff. So you'll forgive me about the shot at half my head. But this sword, and I need a big old fat, looks something... There we go. It has a handle. It has a disc guard. Slight bump. Discard. Then it curves here. See, okay, this one. And then it goes like this. And it's usually actually more extreme. So, give me... Boom, 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 boom. Let me do this right, because it goes here. And then it curls sharp. There we are. And the funny thing of it is, because the Nepalese seem to like... I'm adding a Hamon line, not that they have them, but because this is where the edge is. So it's a very powerful weapon for severing cuts. And you got to see part of my gargoyle collection, I think. Yeah, you got to see Horatio and company. What's up, boys? Anyway, that is a fascinating weapon to see. And I'm really excited to see that they're plumbing oh, that's adorable. And that's what they should be. Anyway. But yes, it's an adorable weapon. Adorable, sorry. It's a powerful weapon, very aggressive, very fluid. So it makes for a group, you have an axe hybrid. Here, it actually kind of traces to a weighted sickle. This is fun stuff. Yes. Well, reverse. It's let me show the comment. And then let me see if I can find, because I just put my box of toys away on the other side, so we'll see. I always need the toy that's not handy. Oh, I have to show y'all my Christmas present. I have a Christmas present. I don't know if I showed it to you, so I have to show it to you again if I didn't. I'm going to make a big mess here. Yay! Don't mind me, I'm just killing my display here. Where did my Karambit, all the way at the bottom, of course. I need this, and I need this. Let's talk oddly curved weapons, and I need to close that up because the ancient painting. Hi, Phelan! But, okay. This is a Karambit. Now, usually Karambit is held like this. Okay? Light, fast, incredibly aggressive, nifty little weapon. So this would be the knife in the family almost if you're going for an inner curve. This is the dagger. This is a kukri. Very powerful chopper. This is a Jawu, actually, or whoever's bought them out. A trainer. This is I'll say Cold Steel, isn't it? Cold Steel training knife? Yep, Cold Steel kukri training knife. This is actually one of my favorites for the grip. I wish Cold Steel would make a bunch more knives and trainers with that grip. Oh, thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for coming by, Feline, even if it's just for a minute. But this is really going to... yes, kukri are the weapon of the Gurkhas. The Indian, as in from India, Nepalese, special forces. Very powerful, very aggressive weapon, very formidable. But this is still the knife. Now, in the period before firearms, they would wield something like the image I just hastily drew for you. Let me see if I can bring that back. Where it's got this button and it's weighted even. It's like they took this and doubled down. We don't need no stinking point. And that's what they went for. Now they fell out of favor because they were a primary arm, and as they switched to firearms, they went. But the secondary of a big knife, big knives are eternal. Little knives are eternal. We will always like. Yes, the kukri was heavily shown heavily in the original Predator movie. It's a good knife. Actually, it shows heavily in Halo Reach. It still fits. It does its job extraordinarily well. Now, why does this matter? First off, let me just put this away because that's really a terrible drawing. Sorry, guys, my hands are shaking like crazy today, so we're working on it. Uh, let me see. Forward heavy things like that make me feel like a murderer holding them. It's like I gotta chump something just for that. Literally, it feeds into the warrior spirit. That type of weapon channels aggression, and it knows it. The weight in something that's balanced like that, especially in a kukri. I find a kukri to be a very elegant, very aggressive weapon. It isn't quite one of my favorites. But if you pay attention to me, I'm not the most aggressive person. But I can definitely see the appeal, and this really helps with the weight and just getting in there. It is thrust capable, but not necessarily. It's not rooted there at all. It's just a solid cleaving blade, and what the Korra takes it to the next level. So yeah, you're definitely going to get that very murderous spirit from the weapon because I think it's totally intended. Exactly. So when given to a very brutal seeming and presented race like what the Grimorians from Star Wars, it fits really well, and it's something that hasn't been on screen all the time. I am just so delighted to see something other than it's an arming sword, it's a saber, or it's a katana. Like, for the longest time, those are the only swords that matter. Great sword, big arming sword. It's still, you know what I mean? A great katana, second verse, same as the first. Once in a while you get sabers, unless it's a devoted rapier movie, and then they're going to go with the pretty swept hilts. Always. Which, they're pretty, but can we get some cup hilts? Can we get a bilbow? Something with some hand protection, something elegant, maybe shorter weapons. But my point being, they're also fighting these weapons like the weapons. Now that goes further because they also have and I'm going to butcher this. Lord knows I am going. Actually, I'm not going to butcher this. Let me look at this. I'm going to go right here. Go here. I can bring up something to reference. I've missed you, Johnny. Oh, or use a basket hilt. Someone's blade needs to get caught. Yes. I need to go World Martial Arts, Americas. I believe is where it's under. I am looking for. Haha. So that's there. And I'm going to tweak this so I can show you what I am talking about. I'm going to go share. I'm going to go stop screen. Share. Sorry, still getting through the bam. Alrighty. Now, hi, hello, and hello, Joe. What we're talking about, Joe, are some of the weapons that were featured on Book of Boba Fett. Now, there are some assassins who show up, and it's really interesting because they show with some Makulitos. Makulitos? That's as close as you guys are going to get. That have been like Shocky electrified. Again, very interesting. And the more I think about it, the more these weapon choices make sense. And I'm going to tell you why. The weapons of the Makalito, this, and the weapon spoken of earlier, the flange mace, not so much, but I mean, a mace is a mace, but definitely the Fijian War Club, are all weapons of non-metallic cultures. These are cultures who did not have access to metals at the time that some European cultures encountered them when these conflicts were arise. And what they did is they made, in this case, basically a paddle-shaped sword, and they lined it with chunks of obsidian or flint that they tapped like a knife to give it a very, very hard, if breakable edge. And you see that it's a very primitive coding. Okay, this is a very ancient style that has evolved from a different logic, and to see that in fiction in a place like Tatooine, which is very obviously way out, it makes sense that an isolated culture would have different fighting styles and different weapons prevalent. This is what I want to see in writing and movies and fighting. I want to see people who are from different backgrounds, built differently, fighting differently. Okay? I mean, the 7 forms of the Jedi are not nearly diverse enough for what the universe calls for. Point there, Richie. But I'm glad to see some of the local guildies on. You guys are making my absolute year already. Hey, you have a wonderful evening, Feline. I'll catch you again real soon. Maybe I can get together for one of your trivia. She hosts a really unusual trivia show on her channel. I'll get the link and I'll publish it. I'm going to work on some better plugs. So thank you, Feline. Oh my God, it's Feline's birthday. Well, tell her happy birthday for me. Anyway, there goes my baby. No, my vertical mouse just fell off. Fortunately, it's corded. Ha! I like light, aggressive, small weapons that fit a culture's needs. It's like, this is shaped like a paddle. Well, gee, they do a lot of things in boats. It kind of makes me wonder if at one point or another they didn't just weaponize their paddle. This is glorious. This is logic. And when you can take that and put it into lore, you get a good feeling. Okay? So, I'm really excited about what this series is going to bring us. I'm almost obligated to do that. There's one other item I want to discuss. I'm not going to bring it up. But this is, to know how long they've been this in depth for like the Tuscans of all things, they have the Tuscan rifles are very long with very distinct butts, and those mirror the Giselle. What's up? What's up, Luke? Glad to see you in the chat too. We're breaking down some of the cool stuff I saw on Book of Boba Fett, because whether you have a beef with Disney or not, folks, and the quest for more money, they're doing neat things in the television series line that are fascinating and far superior to anything I'm seeing in the movies. I've really lost track of caring about most of the mainline Star Wars movies. About the after the first and the third in the newest trilogy, I stopped kind of caring. Hey, Trelana, we're visited by Trelana. Awesome, Trelana. Awesome. We got great people in the chat. And yeah, they're chatting. If you can, watch the chats on these guys. We have an amazing chat. But that's what I'm saying. The Tusken Raiders, for a group that very rarely are speaking, have a deep culture. And as a martial artist, seeing their roots and going, well, this makes sense for the culture. And seeing the weapons, both the hand-to-hand weapons, which is definitely my bailiwick, and oh my gosh, the long rifles being, the Desert Giselle. Oh my god, how cool is that? I mean, I can't get over how neat that is. So I'm very excited about that, and that they're fighting it right. The weapons are, they have light shields, and they look like riot shields, and they use a strategy of boxing people in real close to them snipe, and my headset just broke. I will not be thwarted. Sorry, folks. Well, I'm going to have to do some creative engineering. But I'm hoping you can still hear. You know what? Here. That me not sounding at all. Absolutely. They don't use it in turtle formation. They make a rapid deployment shield wall. I'm sure you can see the fight scene through YouTube somewhere, and I really recommend watching it because it's kind of surprising. Now, a lot of people are going to give that fight scene crud because they're going to say that Boba's not doing so well. Well, if you start tracking everything Boba has been going through, dude's beat up. He's fighting like somebody who's already had his butt kicked the day before. And that's important too. We have to represent the realities of being a martial artist. And understand that if only I had a mountain of duct tape. I have a mountain of duct tape. Ha ha ha! Oh, there went dropped an axe. Anyway, let's see. There we go. Yeah, basically, I've started to think of the Star Wars series as separate from the Star Wars movie universe. And basically, look, if Dave Filoni is involved, the fighting's going to be good. What do I mean by that? Okay, we're going to rewind a bit. There is in Star Wars Rebels, they show my favorite Star Wars sword fight of all time. And what it is the final duel between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul. I believe it's under the episode The Twin Sons. Oh my gosh. People complained. People raged when it came out because they weren't flipping through the air. They weren't. And it's like, but the people who sword fought, and I'm sure Trelana can attest to this, because all went, because you understand the mentality of what's going on in this bout. These guys, there's a lot of, for lack of a better term, prep. These guys are going through great mental adjustment.
And you know what? It's believable, because guess what? When you're fighting, you don't want to do stupid stuff. Okay, when live steel is out, now see, I've sparred many times in practice, and I've had a couple live steel encounters wherein I've had to defend myself with a knife. Oh, that's so much better. Somebody let me know when I plug this in if the audio is back. But it's my show. There's always problems.
Okay. Let me look. I think I'm back. Audio check, check. I see dots. I'm probably awfully soft, but it's the only way to keep ringtones and shenanigans from getting me struck. Now, this is important because most of the people. Thank you, thank you, Luke. Most of the people who are involved are creators. Your writers, your comic book creators, we have some people who do movies. Think in terms of the person who's fighting, okay? Old people, old men, old women fight with efficiency because we don't have the energy stores. I'm disabled. I understand that I can't run around like I used to. I used to skip backwards around the fencing field mid-fight. And that's not being facetious. There's evidence of this out there. Thank you for the sounds good. But when I see something good, I'm going to if I see something good, I'm going to talk about it because I don't want to just be another person getting on saying negative things. Now, yeah, the plot is slower. It is a little different. And to run a parallel, Mandalorian feels like they were playing... Mandalorian, let me put it this way. Mandalorian and Boba Fett both feel like they're playing... Kids playing cowboys and Indians in the Star Wars universe. But the Mandalorian is playing the cowboy part. The Boba Fett's currently playing the Indian part. Okay? And it's chaining over into a samurai movie. It's... And I don't mean to use the term Indian derogatory. I'm referencing an older title of a toy, of a game. So please don't take it wrong. But, let's see. Oh, let's see. We've got good. Audio's good. More reasonable level. Absolutely. We're not burning excess energy. But doing stupid stuff is my default state. You can be dumb, but not wasteful. Trust. I am more efficient. When I do something dumb, it happens much faster now. That's how Sting manages to... Exactly. You look at a lot of the professional wrestlers. Look at Jackie... Here, okay, let's talk about a performer. Jackie Chan, personal hero. Okay? Look at how he moves and acts in his movies, in the fight scenes, now compared to the Drunken Master era. He's incurred vast amounts of damage. He can't do some of the things he used to. And he's playing more mature roles. So he fights much more focused. It's still playful. It's still... I mean, let's be honest. Jackie Chan could be the modern reincarnation of the Monkey King. And no one would be surprised. But, but he's not going to move like he used to. Look at Jet Li's performances over the years. The martial artists who make it, Michelle Yeoh, they evolve their style. And it's harder for the ones with harder styles to hold up against those with the softer styles. Because by their very nature, softer martial arts, that's your kung fu families, that's Tai Chi, obviously. Aikido's a different ballpark. But fluid styles, versus aggressive, hard, straight boxing, karate, sambo. Well, your wrestling styles get a little weird because yeah, the the strength versus wisdom balance is different when you're focusing on grappling. My point being, it's different, and they're starting to as I assume Dave Filoni, because he's a constant name to the point where if you're an Avatar fan and The Last Airbender, and you look at the episode where Sokka learns to sword fight with the extreme, with his master, and they have that duel at the end. It's like, oh, taking the high ground, good choice, and all this stuff. I'm like, this fight feels some familiar. There's an energy to it. It's because Dave Filoni directed it. It's a good fight. I don't have time for fancy flourishes. It's time to kick the fool in the head, drink my Metamucil, and take a nap. Hey, you know what? And there's nothing wrong with it, Richie. You're not going to mess around either. I find that older characters, in both real people and in fiction, when depicted right, are less dangerous but more deadly. Okay? And this is an interesting concept to process as you're developing your approach to your martial art. And I'm not saying don't have fun, don't take it light, but understand mastery often comes at the sacrifice of showboating. It can come at the sacrifice of fun, and it comes with it a burden. In several books it said, don't mess with a little guy, he's liable to kill you. Because somebody who's small cannot physically absorb damage in a playful, social engagement. But and they know it. It's like I could in a physical altercation. I've had my ribs broken many times. My joints don't work. My nerves don't work. I got trembles. I'm. It's amazing I'm held together this well. But it means if there's a physical altercation, I'm not going to take a shot that's not going to hit. And if I do something, it's going to be enough to solve the problem because I have no other choice. Now, because of my training, it's a little different. For me, it's more redirected escape, or suddenly, grotesquely, overwhelmingly advance the response. Because I don't have time to play games. That's why I usually walk away. And you will find that with older people, they'll like older characters, fighter classes, they're not going to trade. Oh, we're going to fight. Da 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 da. No, they're just going to shank you, be done, and go back to what they're saying. And understanding that from both marking your journey as a martial artist and creating the fictional telling of journeys of martial artists, it really, really becomes telling. Now, as soon as I'm coming, yeah, I fight like a Sith. I'm going to use the scenery. I'm going to use weaponry. I'm going to grotesquely escalate the physical force involved if I'm forced to. I'm going from 0 to 100 because I'm only going to get 1 or 2 shots at this, maybe, and I got to take it down. So it's different, especially with the whole. I usually am accompanying a special needs child. Now, that child is as tall as I am now, but that doesn't change his mentality or requirements. Exactly, Trelana. In the words of my dad, I'm going to put you down hard and fast because I'm old and don't have time to sit around and heal. Abso-fraggin-lutely. Frog G, exactly. Exactly. If you're not the man who practices 10,000 kicks once, I fear the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times. And that's why I say find your fight and then learn it. Um, and I'm so happy to have Trelena here because I actually was trying to figure out how to send her a message and have her get it. So I want John. John Minor. I wouldn't love you any other way if you did. If you were never fight fair. A fair fight is one you can lose. My man Splinter in the newer one of the newer trends. But I have to talk to Trelane about something. I have to talk about something that came in case y'all missed it. So let's get down the line. First off, this was the Christmas present that and Trelane is happy to see John. This is the hand axe that Steve Clausen commissioned for me. And dang if I'm not in love with this little dude. This little dude has made me so indescribably happy as an axe guy. Now, Steve also gave me my large axe, which is right here. Both of these, were done from a company called Vulpes Training out of, I believe, Houston, Texas. And you can find them on Etsy. Steve gave me this. And John, you understand why this makes me happy. This is an axe. This is an axe that axes. But this is a two-handed axe. I love this axe. Don't get me wrong. This is an axe. And I adore this thing. But this subtle curve, the carving makes the grip powerful lock in. Brilliant point. Your nearly blind character is going to fight. Blind fighters do almost no flourishes because one, they don't need the extra focus. They don't need the. That's. But Cindy, you're a brilliant author. I expect nothing less. Exquisite, John. Maybe I'll come out and see you this summer then. In the process of recovery from total knee replacement, back to fencing in the summer. We will plan a get-together. I'm not even kidding. Maybe we'll record it. Because people ask about me. They ask about you. They ask about Trelena. A lot. So we're going to talk about that. But yes, I love this. I haven't found this exact axe on the page. So this must be a custom deal. I want to I need to contact them and find out if this is something I can either get a second one because it's just great, or just say you need to put this on the shelf because it's an American-made company, and I'm very much in the process of this handle is great. And it is just, this makes me way too happy. My old beard, for the people who don't know, used to be very coppery red, and it sings beneath the gray, the red that lies beneath the frost. Speaks to that. But now I had to mod this, that I had to cut the grip off because it was the grip wrap was interfering with my my brace, and I've used this as my bad day brace. This is the D-handle Bowie from, let me see, we're going here, we're going here, we're going here, search, we're going right here. Boom. And we're going share. Screen. Window. Trelena. This. I bought it. It came in. It's 20 inches long, Trelena. It's 3 inches longer. Well, between 2 and 3. of our fencing daggers, and they're $30 a piece. I know I'm probably actually going to throw, when I have the money, assuming nobody in the guild minds, the money that my Patreon money builds up again. I'm probably going to order 4 of them because I want to be able to do double dagger, and it's going to give a double dagger feel. Unless I can commission something these proportions a little more tailored. But if you're looking for something to spoil yourself with, or Joey gets in trouble and needs to get out of, you want a brace of these. Oh my god. The other person who desperately needs to see these, actually, is Misty. Richie, if Misty ever wanted to fight like Drizzt, given her height and relative strength, use the link in the description so that I get the track. But these guys, oh Lord in heaven, let me just do this for a second. Okay, this is my arm. Oh, I forgot to put my nifty new Hawaiian shirt on. This is how long this weapon is. These are meant for dual wielding. Oh yeah, I'm already on the website. Yeah, go girl, and tell them I sent you, because I haven't gotten any credit yet, and I'm wondering if the links aren't working right. So be sure to tell Christian that I sent you. But yeah, these they're needed for double dagger. They're just phenomenal. And if we come up, I hate to say it, but for $30, I can't. This is a sword trainer for $30. That's light. It has basic hand protection. Yeah, John. Absolutely. Actually, I was thinking about you. I don't think you could order this, John. Well, actually, it would be a tight fit. Okay? I honestly think you would have trouble getting your fingers. This is set for a standard normal person's clamshell. So I think you would have a little bit of difficulty getting your hand in. And I'm not even being facetious. However, they have some things around that 20-inch blade length that I think you would really enjoy if you ever wanted to switch to the plastics as a light thing. There is no forgiveness on a thrust. None whatsoever. These are not forgiving trainers. But, like, my personal goal between dual wielding that with this is to dual wield those and have a bout with Trey and be in good enough shape to do so. That's kind of what I'm working toward, because it's gonna be good. And the nice thing is this length is something you can practice with indoors. I've been using mine to do the tennis ball drill to try to get accuracy back. A partner link for the site. Yes, it's actually in the comment. If you give me just a second, I will tell you which. We go here. This should work if I have. Come on. Did it? It's not there anymore. There was a glitch. Okay. I thought it was in the description. Not a problem. I will log in, and I gotta log in without you guys seeing, because you don't think I need anything. John, they have other knives that aren't built around this that would make you very happy. Where you would, it's basically I can skip a couple steps. Although with this material, you could easily cut it off. My account. Visit my affiliate page. Because, here we go. Maybe. we'll do it like this. Copy. Paste. That's not what I'm trying to put. Little bit of little. Here we go. P colon slash. Yes, you get to witness the glory that is Nick trying to type in braces. But this way, I know it's working. Hey, lurking is welcome, guys. Now, I should get a like 1% or something like that for the sale. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. That HTTP. Ah ha ha. I was missing something. Bam. That link should work. And okay, Foxy says, blah, blah, refs, I assume you're watching some sort of sports ball. But I don't know why this didn't. Fine. Copy? I want to see this. I want to see if this is going to work. Paste. Yes. And it looks like I typed it right. Yes, yes, yes. Nick will be. Oh, you. Nick will be busy again this year. I was elected as Master of Knights at St. Andrews again at South Bend Scottish Rite. Hey, good for you, John. And you know, you being busy, you're using that organization to help people. That's what it's about. If you can use influence to help people, you're doing a good thing. I also have found an error in my and the video links that the file corrupted a little bit. So I have to fix that. And I'm going to see if I can do that right now while I'm here. Because if I forget to, I'll forget to. Okay, boink and paste. And then we save. Boom. Okay, so that should be for also promote. Congratulations, John. I admit I'm not familiar with the organization of that order, but I do appreciate it. So, you know, I'm glad you're finally getting recognition because you went through a large part of your life, and I don't feel you got the recognition you deserved at the time. We're gonna one of these days we're gonna talk and we're gonna go over the wonderful spears that you sent us, and we'll do another talk through probably with you here. I will be doing some adaptation to the backyard. I may be contacting the local guildies this summer for assistance and donations in getting the training area up to the standards that are needed. I'm glad. The society has its place, and it can be a wonderful thing. And I do, if it is your thing, good on you. Be the best skating you can. It didn't work out for me, and I found out I can serve the society far better by not being in it and helping the people who are than the society would allow me to from within. So basically, winning the game by sacrificing the ability to play it. It's the only way I can explain it. That's It's crazy, but it's who I am. Ravenclaw by sorting, Hufflepuff by choice, usually. But yeah. So we're at the hour break. Where are my books? I've been talking so much, and I moved stuff, and I lost my books. Where did I set them? That's funny because I had them when I started the show. Oh, they slid. Let me just take a basket here and move those over. Here we go. The Historical Fencing Guild is brought to you by the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, both available through Amazon at www.amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tuckert, where you can find this and the games, because basically I take the money that I make with my books and my games, and then I just cycle it into using the Historical Fencing Guild's methodology to help people. The SCA is notoriously bad about promoting unless you play the politics. And my problem is, without getting too far into that particular rabbit hole, the politics were running counter to my moral compass. In that, I believe martial arts are for everyone, and anyone who wants to learn what I know should be able to learn. And I can participate in more than one organization. And that was not, I was given basically a choice: stop meeting with people from other groups and work only in the SCA, or there will be consequences. And there were consequences. It was unpleasant. We're actually at the 10-year coming up on the 10-year anniversary of everything going wrong with the SCA. I'm getting notices in my Facebook reminding me, and honestly, it's a little painful seeing the reminders, because those were some odd, dark times, and I lost a lot of friends. But in the end, I did the right and necessary thing, even if it meant that my name was smeared on all 7 continents in 2 aircraft carriers. You could record the promo with links and just hit play. That is my next step. Thank you. Part of what I want to do, and this is a great segue, is up the production value. I've been learning StreamYard, and that's part of why I'm using it, Richie. I will be recording promos for the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe. Probably some of my game stuff I'll make promos for, and I may even do some limited ad space for the people who are. There's been some people who are interested in that, and if it got a pittance and maybe got them some stuff. when you gotta do blunt weapons for us Celtic druids, can't necessarily draw blood. Nice hammer conquers. Yeah, well, oh shoot, I've sent the Warhammer back to Mandy's Warhammer. Oh no, it's not. It's right here. I borrow my wife's hammer for that solution. John. Yes, this is very familiar. And I have my. That's a sledgehammer falling. Anyway, I have a sledgehammer, the 2-pound sledgehammer over there that I just dropped. So yeah, it's good. Let's see. I missed some comments. It's a group by group thing. Aren't elitist martial arts schools so pleasant? Some are better. I've seen the gambit from amazing instructors to true McDojos, and that's why I don't wear any belts other than those which hold up my pants. I don't like ranking systems. I am interested, and I'm actually looking into some things because of a comment that was rattling around from many years ago. Where I was accused of being a Aikido practitioner, and I am not. I've never studied Aikido. I'm not an Aikido practitioner, but I was laughing because I went on a whim. Oh, late last week, I looked up what weapons are associated with Aikido, and it came up the Boken, which is the wooden katana, which I actually is one of the earliest weapons I dealt with. Uh, the Joe staff, which is a four, on a tall person, a 4 foot, 3 to 4 foot long stick. It's a short staff. And the Tanto knife, which is actually listed as one of my favorite daggers. I still prefer European, but I certainly can make that go. So I'm actually looking for good resources to see if it's worth studying and seeing if there's anything in those systems that would fit within my complex hodgepodge and see if it can help me be a better me. Because that's part of finding your own fight. I don't just preach this. Sorry, I have attention deficit ooh shiny, and there's a fly or something that's flitting around in the far corner of the room, so it's triggering my motion detector in my head. Uh, but it's interesting. Yes, it is, Richie. It really is coming up on the 10 year of me meeting you. I've been at this a while, guys. I may put up on the Historical Fencing Guild public group a couple pictures I found. I actually found a picture from before I was married, and I was doing inappropriate shtick for the SCA. Very different looking Nick. I may do something about that, and I am honored to have the friends I have. See, I would rather deal with elitists than fools with no skill, no actual form, who claim mastery in weapons that either don't exist or are entirely fan. And see, that's the problem. We run this gambit where you either know nothing and pretend to know everything, or you know something and pretend to know everything, and no one just seems to come out and say, here's what I know, and just share it with both confidence but humility. And that's what I aim for. I'm not looking to be the mighty Olympic trainer, although I've helped people who have pursued such routes. Um, I just I'm satisfied being the sort of equivalent of like an elementary to middle school teacher. I'm going to teach you the basics. That's all I ever wanted to do in the society. Literally, all I wanted to do was work with the people, help them get safe, find a way to fight that adapts for their special needs, be it physical, mental, attitude. There's a whole sliding scale, uh, economic, and just help build people up and pass them off. That's all I wanted to do in the Society for Creative Anachronism. And play a couple instruments badly and eat really good food. Maybe watch the belly dancers. That's all I asked. And that was far too much for some individuals. So that's why I left. But I don't claim to know everything. I know a little bit, and sometimes, if if folks can, I'm really wondering if we didn't get a bat in here. Anyway, if folks can uh, find a way that helps me be better at what I do, I accept it gleefully. That's what science is about, guys. Science is taking what you know, doing the best you can while seeking a better way in a formulated, repeatable manner. If I teach somebody to throw a thrust with a sword, to stab, I'm going to teach it the same way to everybody. Everybody can learn to do that shot. If your hand won't move that way, we'll find another way. But the ego needs to fall out of it, and people took offense because what happened was, in part, the people I was training and I was working with, I was expressly forbidden to. People like John Miner. There were individuals who didn't want me to train women. They did not believe that women should be fighting, and as my wife endured, they went to violent means to try to prevent women from fighting heavy and light. religions were reflected in different ways. It was complex. And I'm not about that. I'm about building people up. And I believe that you can be the best version or a better version of you by trying. And it's okay to fail. My nose should be flat for all the times I face planted. And that's what's going to help you get better. Let me see. I've missed some comments. Staff work. Yeah. Reversing the developing U-turn in my... Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy. I hope that works really well. I hope we can get that fixed for you. If you're not drawing blood with a blunt object, you didn't swing hard enough. That happens. Swakhammer medal for the past. Okay. I actually had a comment dump, which hasn't happened in a long time. I walked away from it all. And you know what? Sometimes you have to. And there's nothing wrong with, once you have a personal skill set, exploring solo. Because if you ever decide to rejoin a group or an organization, or you're just or you can find a place to safely test yourself, which I recommend, you can. But sometimes you need that. Let's see. I did too, but mostly there's no decent martial arts, so I just need to be. You know, that's the Uncle Iroh clause. If you can't find Uncle Iroh, become the Uncle Iroh you are. You want. Let's see. John says Boken, Shinai, Staff, Tonto, Wakizashi are all Aikido. And as what people may not realize is that's like lots of my playground. That is all very comfortable, happy Nick stuff. As in, Boken is down. Well, I have Boken. Well, my wooden Boken's downstairs. I don't own a Shinai. I never have, actually. Assorted staffs are in this room. Wakizashi trainer is in this room. Tonto trainer is in this room. I've made all those things go. Along with known types. Yeah, actually, axes, daggers, darts, kunai, shuriken, javelins, whatever those torpedo, it's a big old spike. Honk it. And then varying degrees of archery, although with my incredibly limited grip strength right now and a few other things, I'm adapting a lot of that. Nick doing push hands with an ogre. Yeah, I don't think I can. It's funny, I'm medically forbidden to do push-ups. Because under the therapists, it would destroy my hands. Like, thou shalt not do push-ups. So that's the level of where I ride. I had a former admirer of my older daughter claim he was a member of a ninja clan from Mortal Kombat when my daughter basically told him no to dating. I love ninjas. Ninjas are great. Ninjas are great. I love ninjas. I am sorry to the one whose teeth I knocked out. He's a good guy, and he's done well for himself, and he grew out of that. But I think some lines were fed to me, and somebody was playing some games, so we'll see. But that was great fun. Let's see. I will teach anyone to beat me. Others are for them. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the first standard of any instructor is. Okay. Is it safe? Is it fun? Are you learning? These are my goals. Then your primary. I want you to learn to beat me. I am short. I am fat. I have short arms, and I have nerve and injuries. You should be able to defeat me. In that course, I hope to endear enough respect from my students that then I can go into a camaraderie and advisory role. And that's what I look for. I don't need the bowing or scraping because I'm not that important. But that's what I am. Yeah, and those got to face her trainers. Yeah, Yeah, John. To an extent, it's not a failure if you give up and admit it. Yeah, that's right. I've met his daughter. His daughter was a nice lady. I She did accuse me of cheating, and then we found out that his youngest daughter was able to have more reach than me. There's a video. It's very funny on my channel. Look for a PSA from the Historical Fencing Guild of me with his younger daughter. Uh, Scorpion. If I get my gear together, I'd love to get back into rope dart. Rope dart was really cool when I was playing with it way back in the day, and I'd love to go back into it because rope dart was just cool. And that's what I think when I see Scorpion. Ah, Shinryu. And see, man, I don't think I'd make it even in the Foot Clan. Dang it, John, why'd you have to bring an archery? I haven't been able to shoot my bow in 2 years. It's making me a little. Hey, 3 here because I moved down to the windiest city in America, and archery is not safe for anyone because it's like, woo, you know. Oh no, I throw chickens at people. Chickens. You just grab a bantam rooster and like, you know, cluck Doken! Cluck Doken! And then a chicken flies at them. Then the image of chucking chicken. See? See? I'm going through the comments I missed. Not by far, but you were getting there. Yep, see, we have a PSA when she was 6, and it is glorious. Well, John, I learned how you train influenced a lot of how I train. Between you and Jesse Tibbetts, I learned a whole lot. Some of it I like, some of it I didn't. We have disagreements, but the respectful. I learned a lot more from you than a lot of people. I learned a lot from Dennis Yakus, even though we had differences later. I learned a lot from a woman by the name of Jodie Kingerly and Bob Houghton, and the fact that I'm using her maiden name. Back in the day, even though we had differences, I respect the things. She's 14 now, and I think top you by an inch or so, Nick. I'm. Oh. Well, give my love to Sarah. Trelena. Chicken attack. You can tell by the. I'm a man of nature. God, now that song is stuck in my head. Dang it, Trey. Blade, I just bought my granddaughter a collegiate compound bow and made her arrows. She's 11 and coming up. Awesome. Awesome. Right now, I don't know what I could safely draw, if anything, with my hands. I'd probably be back down to a kid bow, a very light bow, just because, for those of you who don't know, because we're getting some people who haven't been around, I got the neurological testing before I got fitted with my lovely, new bracers and things. I have a maximum grip at absolute straining of between 25 and 30% of what I should have. So it's just not there. It's not musculature, it's the nerves. The nerves simply won't fire due to the massive amounts of nerve damage, especially in my right hand. So I'm very limited in what I can pursue on my own. But while I have this time of isolation between now and when it's warm enough to have folks over, and we deal with the unspeakable cough flu, I'm adapting. So I'm going to have different gear. I'm going to be doing some custom armoring to make something very similar to these that's combat capable, and adjusting my fighting style to what I can do. This may mean I'm in the market for something like synthetic foils, and I'm just looking for what's on the market that weighs very little, so I can still be useful to you guys. And if it turns out that I'm just not able to spar safely, because they gave me the look of you're not supposed to do that anymore, uh, then I'll just hold practices and I'll sit on the sidelines and I'll instruct best I can. I think the students that are around and the friends that are around uh, will understand that limitation. And I'm always working toward better, but I'm part of what we do when we're dealing with limitations, folks. I'm not coming at this from somebody who's well. I'm Chick McBuffinstein, and me and Pex McFlexy over here, are going to help you get stronger and healthier. When they've never been injured a day in their life, let alone uh, problematic. Uh, let's see. I'm going to go through the comments I missed real quick. If you're having chickens wielded against you, you need to learn that. Oh, somewhere Frank Lesko is losing his mind. Anyway, Foxy, I feel you. Thank you, hon. Kids being taught. Xander is within a half inch of my height, and I'm not sure if he's above or below right now. I love it. These are my people, folks. New people meet old people. Commune. And please chat on the Facebook public group. It's there for this reason. Uh, no, but I think Mandy has one. I might give it a shot. Sorry for all the typing, for typing all big fingers and small keys. No worries. My hands. I will never fault somebody's typing over mine. Let's see. Bought a new Han Bo replica right before lockdown started. Local got torn up for another baseball field. Oh, I am so sorry. Um, maybe let's see. Uh, maybe there's a preserve or something, or a Bureau of Land Management you can go out and set up an archery range at. Actually, you know what? Look up the local Boy Scouts in your area. If there's an archery range, they'll be able to tell you where to find one. Boy, Nick surrogate, and I've had to do surrogate. John's seen me do my famous pull a step ladder up, climb up on the step ladder to show somebody you're open, but I can't reach it. Hold on. If you fight somebody of human size, you're going to have this problem. Cindy Kep says, 25 years ago, I was told to get out of fencing. After a break, I can do it again, limited amounts. Yeah, I'm proud of that. That's a hard journey. I'm still on that journey, and of course, 15 years ago, I was told I had 6 months before I'd be forever in a wheelchair. So, grain of salt, and I am incredibly stubborn. But I also take each day as the blessing, because I may wake up tomorrow, step out of bed, hear the pop I've been dreading, and be done. And there's no shame in that. This summer I can likely make a few Saturdays here and there. We'll set. I want to set up when we hit summer a all day Saturday into Sunday, maybe an all weekend event where folks can come out to the local folks. Sorry, I love you, internet folks, but I can't put my home address and stuff online for everybody and open invite it. Someday I would love to get a hold of a convention hall or something where we could actually do a meetup, and when I get selling my books and stuff, I'll tell you guys where they are. So maybe if I'm local or more local, we can meet up there. Because I'd love to be able to meet some of you people in person, and the viewers who don't talk. But for the locals, absolutely, and I want to get the filming back up because it's good for people to see people of other builds and health other than the extreme peak athletes. Because we live in a world where the only martial artists who are either shown as a joke or they're Olympic grade or very high tier championships. And you don't see anybody in the middle, so it warps what you think can value, and that bothers me. Still working on the sword. Cindy give me a while. Well, I'm sure she will, John. She's a very patient and wonderful person. Uh, and thank you guys for being patient, wonderful. Especially my Patreon folks. You guys don't know how I'm coming out off of a period where I was in bad shape. I had to quit my job at the library for health reasons. Process that. In part because of what was going on at the library, in part for health reasons. I had to quit a library job that I loved, actually. Let's just be honest. I'm born Giles. It makes sense. But I had to leave that job. Uh, it Dealing with this has been an incredible emotional toll, and the support from my Patreon members and the commenters here, you know, the money that lets me afford the trainers to review, and that's how I get the money for when I review a knife or a trainer or something on the channel. The guild is what the Patreon is what pays for it, or my upgrades. I'm planning some amazing things, and then we got hit with some really bad weather, and unfortunately my nerve issues are weather dependent. Pressure front can come in and I'm just done. Things won't work. I'm not held together. I'm much, much better than I was, but I've got a long way to go before I consider myself good. And the support you guys give is what lets me keep doing this. You're amazing people. Let me see. Find a gun range and see if they'll let you use a bow. If you are in the state I think you are, you should be able to. We've only got 12 or 15 baseball fields in a town of 20,000. Holy smokes! Gotcha. So one of my students was told she was too short for rapier. Wow. Too short for rapier. Too short for... I've got 30-inch saber, a messer with a Schlager with a saber rigging, right there. 30-inch blade. Too short for rapier? What? I'm trying to work on my swearing, and I try not to swear on this channel, because I want this to be at least family tolerable, PG-13 kind of deal. See me later for a proper rant at some point. But I love that they switched who practices longsword. Longsword is beautiful, and you can get longsword scaled to small people. PHA has some great ones that I kind of lust after. Or just go, whoop, PHA 1.33 training sword. Phenomenal, phenomenal sword. I absolutely love this, and I'm kind of, I have to, when I get money sacked away a little bit, we lost some patrons due to financial issues. They spoke with me. No one's upset. I want people to take care of themselves, but means I'm delayed in some of my orders and plans. I will be getting hold of Kristen Dorst and trying to commission something new again with this new black material that's lighter, because it's fantabulous. But I get that. Sorry, hit a bit of rage. 5 weeks ago, I got new knee after 4 surgeries, and I'm just glad you're getting the help you need, John. Cindy kept in shock. All off the crutches and cane and decent vehicle with huge... Wonderful! Not exactly local, but I can make it. John, no worries. When you get to it. Yeah, LaPorte isn't exactly local, but I'll try to make a few sessions. Oh, we'll have to talk if you haven't followed, because LaPorte is not my current location. If you're talking about John's, that makes sense. Oh yeah, I will definitely be poking around, because I swear there's something hiding behind Lydia. And I'm not doing shtick this time. I know it looks like shtick, but I keep tracking motion. And either there's a large spider behind her, which would be fitting, or there's a bat, or there's something going on, and I have to figure that out. Anyway. Then there are corporate donations for... And John, I appreciate that. And when you have your stuff put together, where I can... If you build a website, you publish something, you give me something that I can reference people, I will be happy to plug your stuff. That's what I do. Home to better things, Nick. On to better things. And that's what we're about. Better things. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm still way behind on this comment dump. Can't wait for the lawn to be ice-free so I can play with my Pelican. Absolutely. I have a heavy bag downstairs I do incredibly slow work with, just because the resonance is a little hard on me. But something... Yeah, too short for rapier, for 50 blade maybe, but there were lengths down to 30-inch blades. So yeah, exactly. Give me a sec. Ah, crud. This is a 30-inch rapier. I have fought with it. I did the paint job. It was matte black at points. 30-inch is totally valuable as a sword length and as a fencing rapier length. They were gatekeeping and being jerks. And I have fury. I'm sorry. I had to do shtick for another channel, so one of my Master Chief helmets whirled by. Hi, Twitch. Sadly, they're a lot down here. One certified HEMA instructor in the area, let's just say Bell End. My brother, I grew up on BBC. Patreon Nick rant. I need to find a way to post videos only to Patreon. And yeah, there's good stuff coming. I just need to figure out how to do it. That's part of 2022. John, I make long swords scaled to the wielder. Yes, I know, and you do a wonderful job with it. Trelena says, oof. Richie says, it's mine. Nick is hunting the moving thing, but no, not a cryptid. Okay, like... It happens once in a while where, like, something will trigger my T-Rex vision. My nephew makes fun of me because I'm incredibly nearsighted. But I literally can, in more elaborate Nerf battles, I have shot people blind in the dark because they moved. I didn't hear them, I could see them move. 28-inch wood battle, and oh yeah, 20-inch rapier. Oh, 28-inch. Oh. Well, John, it is John's fault that this sword right here, my favorite little sword, I need a brace of trainers that are rigged like this. I need a brace of practical, uh, fightable steel, not historical, like not with the of this. I love those. No cryptids. No. There's no cryptids. No nothing. I am innocent. Innocent. I have done nothing. I haven't even hobbled around on a staff with a top hat through a fog-covered city in like years. Not at all. There's something alive in here. Many predators key up. And I do, and I don't mean to. Like, I could be driving down the road. I won't see a car, notice, like, signs or something. But if there's a deer 500 yards moving along the tree line, I can see it. I do too. Something moves, I know it's there. It's like, and it's weird when something will move just a little bit, because now you're like, all right, you son of a... So I'm going to have to try to figure out. It might be a stink bug. We get stink bugs, and they fly very big. A stink bug puts out a disturbance about this big when they fly around, and then they pull their wings in, and they're much smaller. It's your story, Nick. You tell how you want about the cryptid. Oof. Oh, hoppling around with the staff wrong. Okay. I have been associated with Krampus. I have been associated with an urban legend. You know, that is real close to my greatest fear. Like, that the only thing special about me in my circles is I'm not special. And then I've just accepted, well, that's just me. And that's okay. That's why I'm disposable. At least in some folks' eyes. Then you have to watch. Yeah, you see motion. You have to watch to identify friend or foe. I have gotten in trouble for, like, using air rifles to deal with small vermin in the house in the past. Because I can't, I'm not fast enough to get over there, but, click, Daisy is. And I love, like, whenever that happens, like, I track motion. Wait, if anyone hears about a werewolf sighting in southeastern Utah in a couple weeks, just ignore it. 3 cheers for the terminally furry. I'm going to move something because this might be a visual effect. I debunk things. Did I just use a sword trainer to smack aside a broken camera tripod to have a clear line of sight on a hung up ghoulish office assistant? Yeah, I did. But 3 cheers to the terminally furry. I love you guys. Lycanthropes are some of the best people on the earth. You know what, Johnny? Thank you for the offer. I appreciate that. I don't know how many people actually have supernatural upgrade intentions towards me. It is interesting to hear sometimes, but I do appreciate it. Joe, you're just a humble technomage, which you might be considered cryptid by some people. Look, you might be able to help me with my 3D printer problem at some point. So you're a blessed creature that just descends like the Fae from the Technoverse, and I love you for it. Y'all are out of my area to take care of, so have fun. Yep. I'm beyond territories, but I'm okay. It's much more mellow here, so I'm not too terribly worried. It's cool, furry bro. Just because you're normie doesn't mean you're not special. If you're the normie in a room full of cryptids, you are special, and not just as it blue plate. Please, you know how many things have tried to eat my face over the years? Like, I don't have faith in the supernatural. I have acute borderline intimate knowledge. It just tries to eat my face. Yes, we are. Aw, don't worry, hon. I'll give you scritches. Lycanthropy is a mental condition. Foxy usually tries to keep me leashed up on those nights, but hey, you know what? Whatever floats your boat, you will never get judgment from me other than to say, all right, be sure you have a safe word established. Keep all constraints at least a finger's width so circulation isn't cut off. And, make a plan beforehand and discuss, and include aftercare after. No, 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 I'm not. I'm still here. Ha ha, John. You take care of your own area. But Trey is known and protected among lesser freers. Oh my god! You don't understand how easily Trelana could become a huntress with her own wild hunt. I am not fooling with you. I could see her going Bogart, sprouting antlers, and a whole bevy of gentlemen I am aware of suddenly wolfing out. Hey, you know what? In another conversation in another place, there could be another conversation in another place. But I don't judge either way. As long as everything's consensual, even the non-consensual stuff, I don't judge. You just have a good time. And make sure the safe word isn't flower, there, or there. It gets confusing. When in doubt, rutabaga. Rutabaga is a wonderful word for such things. Count this furry ion. Okay. John's typo hit a little hard, so I'm not sure what you were trying to say, but I'm sure you'll repeat it in a minute. Okay. You know what? Pineapple. Psych fan, I see. Anyhow, I'm going to disturb whatever's on the other side of the room. Just give me a second. Sorry, Lydia. Just double checking. We had a misfire. Failure to launch. Well, whatever it is, it's either hiding or gone, and I'm okay with that. Oh, okay. Count this furry in. Count this furry is. Pack of trays Raffertures. You guys, we're on season 3 of episode 1 of season 3, and I set this up originally so that should the lockdown interfere with practice into 2020, I would have a way to talk to you guys, and we could keep making content and have a good time. I've been here for you almost every week, save for Christmas and New Year's. And I think there was one I had like massive fever situation. But so yeah, I'm so glad, guys. This is what this is supposed to be, a fun hangout where I have the pleasure of exchanging ideas and information with some of the most brilliant martial artists in the world. I love everybody in this comment feed. You guys don't know how cool you are. Ben, I'm going to keep 3 little pen knives. Nick, what's here? Long time ago. But yeah, we're still here. And yeah, folks, you got to find your tribe in this life, and if you can't find one, you make one. And I've stumbled somewhere in between both of those categories, and I'm here for it, and I'm proud of it. That's why I do these things. Let's talk though. What do you guys want in the coming year? I know I am really due for the crafting videos, and as soon as I can trust my hands to do what my mind tells them, I'll start doing crafting videos. I actually had someone ask me about making boffers, so I'll probably do a simple boffer video if I have the materials laying around. And armoring and stuff. What else do you guys want? Because I'm here to serve. Um, and while you guys are debating that, I am planning a couple writings in 2022. I want to get back into the Swordmaster's, the Poor Swordmaster's Guide of Arms and Armor. I have a couple game-related things to process. Trey and Joey, the final major variant of Big Stompy Robots has the crunch ready for playtest. I just need to make proxies for all the new units. Uh, at least at that level. There'll be some more units, but this is the final evolution that I've been talking about for years. I figured it out in 2020. So I will be reaching out to you two expressly. Okay, City Cap. Anything helpful to the solo practitioner? Absolutely. I've considered doing a whole series. So you want to learn to sword fight from the ground up again. And that's one of those as the physicality returns. I'm going to cover that. If you are watching this and you are a solo practitioner or you're new or you have questions, the first thing you need to know is one, wow, that's awesome and I'm proud of you. Seriously. Going from the I want to do this to trying to do this is a huge step. You're making your dreams real. Then after that, please front me your questions because it's been 20 years since I've been a newbie. 21 in some circles. The back scratcher video is coming. Okay, the back scratcher video it's in 2022. I will do that. More. Let's see. I'd like to see more reviews of Chinese style blades like we did when I showed you. If you guys like the going through catalogs and review format, I'm all here for that. I just have to make sure it's in a way that I'm not going to get in trouble for like misunderstood copyright violation. I'm very careful with that stuff. But yeah, a lot of trainer reviews, a lot of life steal reviews. There are a few things in this world I lust after. I will share them. I've been doing the sword thing for so long, though, I've gotten pretty niche. It's like, I know what I'm about these days, and it's rare for me to want something else. Guests! Guests! Hi! If you're watching this and you're commenting right now, I'd love to set up having you as a guest. It literally would be a case of me hitting a boink. I hit a button here. I open up Messenger and I send you a link and I can have you on once you get a StreamYard set up. I can have up to like 5 people. I can do a panel show whenever you guys want. I'm not even kidding. That one can be done. We can make that happen. Big smile from Trelana. So whatever you're smiling about, I'm for, babe. Well, I'm sorry. That I've known you too long to slip to the babe. I'm not being derogatory to her, to anyone watching. We're old friends. It's not. The Humble Hammer or the Magnificent Maul. Actually, we're going to do this. The next book planned is the Guides to Arms and Armor stuff for the beginner. I wanted to just break down getting clothes for fighting from underwear out, getting building basic equipment, getting trained, especially when you're on a next to nothing budget. I found ways to do it with, scavenged materials. Then I want to do a book on the staff, the spear. I'm not sure if staff and spear aren't going to come, and the strong sword are all part of it. I'm planning after that to do an omnibus where I kind of pull everything together and I want to do a book on the more philosophical side of things. So that is definitely in the works. Techniques useful between mismatched opponents. Weapons, absolutely. I love those. Those are we might plan a theme night where you guys just pick two different weapon styles or fighting styles. Assuming I understand them enough to feel I can discuss them with some authority, I will do so, and hop. We will get into that, and we'll just go next week. All right, guys. Next week, tell me styles you want me to talk about. I'm serious. That's your homework. We'll come out next week, the same bat time, same bat channel. That's, for the people who don't know, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I will do a live stream, like I always do. If you bring those commentaries, we'll break down what you want to talk about specifically. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sword Sage kind of went on walkabout. I haven't talked to him much, but if he's willing, Lord knows I'd do a cross stream with him on his channel or mine and talk shop. It's been so long. A Trelane, Rich, yeah, a local. Get Richie, Trey, John. Absolutely, any number. I'd love to do one with like Jim. Get Jim coming on would be a good panelist. I'd love John and Steve. Those two are so interesting, and they rarely cross fields. Okay. I'd be willing to be on the show answering questions about Chinese at Foxy. I work every other, so we'd have to. Yeah, no, this is all scheduling. I'd be happy to schedule something where. Originally, I was going to try to do an East meets West, where I'm here talking more Western stuff, and originally it was going to be Sword Sage, but I think you can slip into those boots pretty well, and talk Eastern and compare and contrast, um, such things. I think that could be really good. How to counter recognized styles for defensive master styles. So what you're thinking is like Gigante versus Agrippa kind of thing. I'd have to take time to reacquaint myself with the particulars because, as you know, I go through, I learn what works for me in a style, and I literally disregard the rest. If it doesn't work for me or what I'm doing, I throw it out, and it gets put into sort of a I'll vaguely hold on to it enough to be able to look it up later, but Cyverse Rapier did really well when we talked about it, 2 years ago? I would be happy to talk Cyverse Rapier. Okay. So, guys, give me these tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Remember these, make a little text block for yourself, and ask me these questions next week, and I'll have the time to go through them. John Steve would be a good panel for taller people fighting people of their own size. Yes. I get a lot of flack because I tend to favor the shorter people because there are more resources out there for taller people. Bringing taller people on. I also desperately want to get Trelena. I would love to get my wife Amanda on, and I don't know how that would work because she's watching Xander. But getting you and maybe Stephanie, I'd really like to just simply host and hang back. We were experimenting with a ladies panel of the experience. Get Cindy in of female sword fighters, female practitioners of this art. What you guys go through, what you wish there was more on, maybe cross discuss amongst yourselves. I think that would be really useful, and that's on my to-do list. Let's see, that's what Terry and I teach the master and I to defend against them. Yeah. How to recognize the masters. How to use other skills in fencing would be good. For example, when I first started, you were able to use my billiards knowledge of cue control for my sword. Exactly. And see, for that to work, I have to know usually what your background is, which is why when I'm working with somebody, I do an interview where I basically ask them, what do you know? Do you have I have a whole list of questions. Do you have a martial arts background? Do you have a marching band background? Are you involved in sports or hobbies that have a physical element? Uh, Body mechanics, things like that, history, and a lot of things like Joe said. Um, Billiards is wonderful for point control, and it crosses back over. Obviously, archery. Open hand means you have movement. Dance skill or marching band or formal marching means your footwork's going to be better for line combat. Absolute. For that, I need the term submitted. So it's like, what? Here's a phrase. Translate it to human. That's literally what the simple sword was intended to do. To translate history slash fencing nerd into plain English. So I'm all about that. Now, it is about, it's going on 10 o'clock my time, and, first question for students, can you dance? Absolutely. I'm probably going to have to cut it off in a minute or two, just because it's getting to be that time. I'm starting to feel my blood sugar dip a bit, which you guys all understand, and I'm not going to sit here and chew for, to be able to make it through for 5 or 10 more minutes. So this has been a wonderful broadcast. I want to thank basically everybody. The entire comment section has been phenomenal tonight, and you guys really have... It's taken a while, but have you guys come out as... Define dance. Well, hold on. Wait. Define dance. Can you... Isn't that Can You Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight? Chicken dance, please. Have you ever danced with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight? And defend dance. Let me explain. Before I go, I will explain dance. The trick is you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because if by chance your friends don't dance, then they're no friends of mine. Anyway, folks, just dance safely. Or with safety, as it were. I give that one to Julie with love, John. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you so much. If you've watched this and you're new here, please don't ever hesitate to jump in the comment section. That's what it's for. The Historical Fencing Guild is brought to you every week by the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, both by me, both available through Amazon. If you want to learn a simple, easy approach to take, history nerd to layman speak on how to make weapons go, look it around. To answer the thesis' question, slow dancing does, because it's a box step. Other than that, we're made possible by my Patreon at www.patreon.com/thehistoricalfencingguild. Look for the white boot, and you'll know you're home. I try to post there at least weekly, but almost unanimously, you guys have asked me to keep my content here where it's free for everybody, because that's what it's about. I'm trying to put out free, accessible information and education on Western martial arts. The robot stomp. To Lob and to Pew. Yes, we are also brought to you by the Big Stompy Robots line of games, as well as several other games that will be coming out in 2022. Thank you, Cindy Kep. Please support my viewers. Please support Steve Clausen, Boss Blades. There's some stuff I'm going to be talking about with them in the near future. At least I want to reference them. They're a new blade company that's come out, Lifesteal. Swakhammer Metals, of course. John Miner has donated weapons and time, and we go back, 20 years. So there's a lot of history there. Thank you all for making tonight such a wonderful night and kind of reminding me why, even when I don't feel good necessitarily, I can hop on this, and I feel like I'm doing good, so thank you for that tremendous gift. In other words, guys, be good to each other. Keep your guard up. Do your drills. And as always, folks, support your local sword master. Good night.